Hello everyone. We welcome you all to the webinar today. The topic of the webinar is Future Trends of Software Testing. I am Pankaj Agarwal, Delivery Manager at 99 Tests, and along with me today I have Kaushik Nath, who is Product Strategy Head at 99 Tests.
Hi everyone, welcome to the session. Hope we'll make it a very productive session for all of us today.
Thank you, Kaushik. So today we are going to talk about the testing trends, the upcoming testing trends in the software testing industry. So we have a very beautiful line. The best way to predict the future is to invent it, as said by Alan Kay, a computer scientist. So what we are going to do is we are going to predict the future today, what is going to happen in the software testing field in 2017. And we will also invent and we will build features on our platform, on 99 Test platform, so that we, all of us, all our testers, all our clients are able to use it and move towards a new future. So this is the agenda for the day. We'll be talking about the trends. So we have, based on our research for the past couple of years and working with various clients and working with various testers, we have come up with a exhaustive list of items which might be changing the trend of software testing this year. So among those, we have identified a few topmost among those, and we are going to talk about that today. So we'll be talking about how open source tools is going to change the trend, speed and quality of testing, the testing design. We all have heard about automation. Let's also hear about scriptless automation, reusability in testing, then crowd testing and virtualization. To start with, I'll start about open source tools. So we all know, we all have been using lots of open source tools, and it has been in picture for a long time. But if you see from the past 5 to 10 years, the trend has been changing. So more than the proprietary tools, people and everyone has been started going towards open source tools. And there are instances where the open source tools, open source technologies have become so popular and so useful and usable that it has been adopted by large enterprises and it has become the benchmark. So, so open source tools are there everywhere now in each and every field. You take the field, you name the field, maybe it in agile development or test management, test cases management, or bug tracking or defect management, and even in automation. So everywhere we go, there are open source tools and which are doing really good. There are some tools which are at par or better than the proprietary tools. So just to take an example, 4 to 5 years back, when I was working as a crowdsourced tester, it was really difficult for me to take screenshots on Windows machine. I know you will tell there was a print screen feature, but yeah, there were no tools as such which was making my life easier. But now, if I see, there are lots and lots of tools, just not just Windows. There are tools for mobiles. There are tools for different platform, iOS, Android, Windows. So which makes life easier. And those tools are designed in such a way that the testing or the life of tester is very easy using those tools. So this is just a very simple example, but if we talk about automation, if we talk about test case design, test case management, so there is a lot of work going on in open source community, and there are a lot of active open source forums and groups which are taking in suggestions and which are implementing those suggestions to give better opportunities and better tools to the community. Moving forward, I would like Kaushik to take this and talk us ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Pankaj. So, this is about speed and quality of development and integrating the quality assurance process seamlessly with that. The agile and DevOps as buzzwords, or the trend is gaining more and more momentum in coming days, and it's a process that gives more surety to the software development, say management or the organization, on methodologies of developing software in a very meaningful way and with proper speed and quality, without spending much resource. So one thing that was finding a challenge was the quality assurance being tightly integrated with it. So I mean, at the unit test level, you had the JUnit and things like that for quite some time, but I mean, coming to other testing like the exploratory or say test case driven testing, manual testing, and other automation testing, which is screen driven, that is gaining more and more momentum and is being integrated with the agile and DevOps process to support continuous integration and continuous deployment for organizations. And the interesting point here is crowd testing is getting integrated with this. So there are definite trends towards in the testing industry towards more and more integrating all sorts of testing and having minimum risk-based development. So that's a definite trend, and we all need to understand and align ourselves with the this process. The next is test design. So I mean, test design, there are a lot of theories that are available for quite some time, traceability matrix, or covering of edge cases, maximum coverage, and things like that. But the thing is, the trend is towards having predictive analysis for test case design, and say for example using model-based testing, that is giving a new dimension to test designs. And definitely we are going to focus on some of these areas in the coming days in our platform. Next is you see test data management. Now test data has been managed for as many years as testing has existed, but the thing is, it becomes very seamless with continuous improvement of the product being developed with the help of model-based testing. So model-based testing is actually giving a new dimension to test data management, and it is becoming more and more structured in fashion in such a way that the pain is being reduced. So coming to scriptless automation, so this is also again something driven by the trend of the software testing industry, and this is the third generation of automated testing. First you had the record and replay kind of automation. Then of course there were sophisticated tools, scripts, which gave a lot of power to the automation test engineers. Now what is happening is you can do it from your requirements, and if you do the proper modeling of your requirements using the model-based testing methods and the trends in the software testing industry, the scriptless automation is definitely a trend that we need to follow, and will determine the some of the pioneers in the coming days. So yeah, I mean, the next slides, Pankaj, you can talk about it.
Thank you, Kaushik. So we have already spoken about speed and quality. So with speed and quality, to achieve speed and quality, reusability is one of the very important and key factors. Reusability can be for anything. So till now we have been writing reusable code, which helped us in quickly helping us quickly automate the test cases. But now the testing industry is moving towards writing and creating reusable artifacts, which can be anything like a test case, a test script, or artifacts which helps you quickly log bugs. So reusability is becoming one of the key factors. So and there has already been work started by some organizations where they are creating these reusable assets. So how does this reusable asset will help you as a tester? So now with continuous use of this items which are really in good shape and which are very convenient to use. First of all, they will be very convenient to use for you, and it will have the effect of you using the reusable items will be we achieve consistency across all our items. So even if 10 or maybe 100 testers are working on the same kind of product on the same project, there will be consistency across the deliverables. So even for whichever client you are working or whichever project you are working, so there will be no discrepancy. There will be very less differences in the work that is being done, and we get similar kind of good output. Okay, now talking about crowd testing. So we all know what crowd testing is. We all have been part of 99 tests, and we have been doing crowd testing for a couple of years or even more than that. So how does crowd testing fit? According to the latest Gartner report, by the end of 2017, 20% of the whole testing work would be done by crowd testers. So it's not like crowd testing is going to go ahead and change or replace the jobs of existing in-house testers. But yes, crowd testing will help in supplement the in-house testers, improving their capabilities and doing a faster release of the products. So how does crowd test help? So crowd test will help you or help the organizations in quickly releasing the products by means of checking their products, testing their products across various devices, various different platforms, across different networks, geographical locations. Different testers can, different the different age group of people, different people, different experience of people. So there are a lot of different factors where crowd testing will supplement the existing testing existing testing teams of the organization and will help. So how does it help you as a tester? So as a tester, you can register with 99 tests as a crowd tester, and you can start working on various projects that are available. So similarly, it helps the different clients, different companies to quickly get results and release their products in a faster way. What happens with crowd testing is you start getting, because the same application is tested. Otherwise, what happens in in-house testing is there is a limitation on the number of devices and platforms, and again number of testers or rather resources who are working on the same project. But with crowd testing, a single project can be tested by around 1,000 or more than that testers. And similarly, different devices with different screen sizes, different RAM, different battery. So all these different, all the differences in the crowd helps achieve a single goal of making the product better so that it works seamlessly across different devices. And of course, the results are very fast in crowd testing. Virtualization. So this is the next big thing which will be affecting, or which will be affecting the testers, and which will be impacting the testing industry in the coming year. So we all know what virtualization is. It is as simple as as simple as your system is running on some server somewhere in the world, and you are getting a view of it. So initially, virtualization started with that only, with your with servers running somewhere, and you get an instance of it. But now there are rapid changes coming up, rapid improvements, rapid development coming up in this field, and now there are companies, there are technologies where you connect your devices. So now, if I talk about Android, to give you an example, if I want an Android device which is running on a very old version of Android 4, it is not very easy to find, and you might not get that mobile. If you want to buy that device, it is not easy to get that device in market, and if by chance you are getting the device, it is very rare and it might be very costly. But there are companies which are providing services where you get all the different versions of the mobile with different browsers, with different screen sizes available. So a mobile which was available 5 years back and which is right now not available in the market might be available with these companies as virtual device, and if you want to test your application in that device, if you want to check the backward compatibility, if you want to see whether my application is working on those devices, it is very easily possible. Similarly, different desktop configurations can also be hosted on the cloud. So every year, or companies like Apple and Windows, they come up with OS releases every year. So, and it becomes impossible to work if you are not upgrading to the latest release. and because the support for the old releases go off. So now by chance, if you again need, suppose you need Windows XP or a Windows 95, 98 device working on those OS, you want to test something, you want to work something on that, or you want an Apple OS which is working on Leopard or Snow Leopard OS. So all these things are possible now, and it helps the testers to, it helps the testers to make their work easy. They need not check everything on the browser, on their own device, or on multiple physical devices. Moreover, there are technologies where you automate a single test, and on with virtualization, you can run those single tests on a magnitude of different devices and get the results in a very short span of time. Apart from this, how virtualization is going to affect us in the longer term is, now what happens to our mobile devices when we are sleeping? 8 hours a day, at least during the night time, those mobile devices are lying idle and not helping us or helping anyone. So now there are companies which, or rather, you can make money using your devices. You can connect your devices to a network where people can use your device to send SMSs, send or use the computing power of the device for some other servers, and gradually you will start making some money out of it. So this is how virtualization is going to affect us in the coming year. And if we adapt to it, if we start using devices or start using companies which are providing us these services, it will be helping us in our testing. There are some other areas too which are going to be impacted. We all would have heard about big data and IoT. So I would request Kaushik to speak on this topic.
Yeah, thanks, Pankaj. So, big data and a testing company like 99test has a huge opportunity because, for big data based applications, companies need lot of data and realistic data. So coming to the first point, say a lot of data, say huge volume of data can be generated by data generators following statistical models, and those are but synthetic data. Whereas if you are using the crowd, there is a possibility to generate a lot of data, and the volume can be pretty good to do your testing. And if we add some intelligent data generators on top of the crowd, so we will generate synthetic data which are personalized in many ways, and we can generate massive volumes of data which are very close to the real life, and do big data based testings for those companies and for those applications. And similarly for IoT, for IoT, what happens is the companies usually make the applications or softwares based on devices, and they will need to buy a lot of those devices to test. So maybe for very new kind of devices which are not available in the market, those kind of investments make sense. But there are a lot of other devices which which are like wearables and healthcare related devices and things like that, and which people have in large numbers. And our platform like 99test can host a large number of people having those data, and those applications and softwares based on those devices can be tested by the company. So that's a great opportunity and a trend. So I would like to
I would like to add a few points to what you said, Kaushik. So, with respect to IoT, also, as you are investing in wearables or investing in these devices, so right till now, as testers, we had been doing testing on web applications and mobile applications mostly, or maybe in some cases desktop-based applications. However, so as the world is moving towards IoT, things are getting very easy. We have wearables, we have smartwatches, we have even smart homes, where on a click of a or on a flicker of a finger, bulbs, you can light your bulbs. So, or by using voice commands, you can using the voice commands, you can give some commands and your tea is ready. So all these things, technologies are coming up. So even we need to upgrade ourselves. We need to start learning how to do testings on all this stuff. If you might have heard of a news sometime back, where Amazon had a product where you could do ordering through voice, and on one of the news readers was talking something about it, and she asked her Amazon device to order a doll, and in whichever home the news channel was being broadcasted, everywhere the doll was ordered. So these are some different kinds of thinking capability, or different kinds of testing that you need to be thinking on how to do testing for IoT, because it is going to be really different than what we have been testing till now on web applications and mobile applications. And yes, it does. It is very challenging, and also very interesting with respect to how we approach towards IoT testing.
So I think with that we have come to the end of the session, right, Pankaj?
Yes, so thank you very much for attending, and we have few more time left. So if you have any questions, you can definitely ask all your questions as doubts. In the questions, you can type your questions in the question box, and we will be happy to answer. So we have a question. With the advance in technology, does it mean the manual testers cannot survive 3 to 5 years down the line? What happened, or rather, what happens to a job of manual tester in 3 to 5 years?
No, I mean, see, from our experience and our definite research, what we found out is manual testing is going to be there, but it is going to be changed. I mean, manual testing in the way that it existed is, I mean, less and less being valued. So, or rather, the frequency is so low that, meaningfully it would come down to a very low level. So manual testing is getting changed, and it's not all automation, but very smart manual testing and smart automation. That is what the trend is, and testers definitely need to be up with these trends, so that the offering is very powerful, and clients will, I mean, companies will definitely ask for these kind of things.
Yeah, exactly, Kaushik. Just adding on to that, so gone are the days where 3, 4, 5 manual testers would be sitting and testing the application day in and day out, and reporting bugs, and people and the dev team would be fixing those. So everything comes with a cost. So with these all advances, as you hire more testers, you are increasing the cost. So, or as you are delaying the release, you are also increasing the cost. So the target is very fast results. So it is also expected of the testers to learn new technologies and new tools, even the tests which are regular and which are to be run on a daily basis, to be automated quickly, and run them as regression suite instead of wasting your time.
Any more question?
Yeah, we have a question. Is virtualization real for remote devices to be connected and used by other users? Yeah. So yes, it is real, and so there are two parts to this question and answer. So there are some service providers which connect real devices to their network, and which can be used by other people for testing purposes or any other purpose. You can book those services and you can use it. However, as we said, like, yeah, there are, so as we said, so research is going on how, when the idle devices can be used. So suppose I have an iPad, and probably Kaushik has an iPhone. So what happens to those? Those are lying idle. So yeah, research is going on in that regard. When they are lying idle, they can be used by other services, other people, to monetize that and to use that. So yes, research is going on in that regard. Okay, we have Kaushik, we have a couple of questions on tools. So one of this is, what is the tool we need to learn for big data and IoT testing, and for security testing, which tool is the best in the market?
Uh, Yeah, for security testing, the main thing is the standard.
So for security testing, and so for this webinar, actually, we are not endorsing any tools, or we are not coming up with any names of tools that we will be suggesting you right away, as we are not endorsing any of those companies. The best answer we would tell you is check for open source tools. However, for security testing, we have an answer where we can tell you to go with the OWASP standards. So every 3 years, OWASP releases the topmost bugs and the topmost vulnerabilities which are available, which can affect your which can affect your application. So if you start with OWASP standards and learn manual penetration testing first, then it will be very easy to go ahead and start using the other tools. Do we have upcoming projects in big data and IoT testing in the 99 test platform?
I mean, as of yet, no, but the trend is there, and we expect certain things. So, not today.
Arpan has a question on any guidance to become crowd tester. How can we become a crowd tester? Yeah. So if you know testing, or if you have done any course of testing, or if you are a professional tester who is working anywhere in the world, so you can register with 99test.com as a tester and complete your profile and add your devices. So what happens in 99 test is we start with a basic project which is called OpenBug. So you start testing the applications listed in OpenBugs, and as you start testing, you find bugs. The bugs are validated by the validator, and you start earning reputation points, and you start increasing your level. So based on your performance, we start inviting you to the various testing cycles that are running on 99 test, and then you can start working. So currently, what we offer is exploratory testing, test case writing, test case execution, usability testing, and automation testing. So if you are expert, or you are learning any of this field, or even if you are a student if you're a student, or if you are none of these and you want to learn testing, you want to explore, or you want to talk to other testers or expert in this industry, you can join 99 Test, and you can start exploring the website, and we are there to help you. If you have any questions, you can ask. You can write to support at 99test.com, or you can ask me personally directly on Pankaj at 99test.com also. Okay, we are waiting for some more questions. Okay, we have a question from Sampath who is asking what would be the right automation framework for web application?
Yeah, so for the web, for testing for the web application, the 99 test platform has built an automation framework. So, you can use various kinds of languages to, automate the test cases, and it runs on, multiple platforms. So in one shot, it will enable all automation tests, and whatever results you get, it segregates the test data from the source, and to support multiple various release cycles. There is a different configurations. It's a very pretty advanced kind of automation framework that is being built. But if you're looking for other things, say for example, of course, knowing Selenium is good. So maybe Pankaj, do you want to add something to this?
Yeah, so adding to what Kaushik has said, so again, it also depends on your needs. So what is the need of your application, and what is your client's requirement? So if you're able to understand the need, because there may not be any single right kind of framework, and because there are different kinds of framework right now available in the market, which can be keyword-driven framework or a data-driven framework or a hybrid framework which is based which is a combination of both keyword and data-driven. So again, apart from that, there are a lot of libraries which is available and which can be made based on the kind of implementation you want to do. So there is no right answer what is a right or what is a wrong framework, but yes, it again based on what is the need of your client and what is the need of your application. And as Kaushik mentioned about the 99 test framework, we have also built a testing framework, and probably we are working towards making it an open source framework, which should be available in couple of months or 3 to 4 months down the line. So you might be able to view and use it. We have a question on certification. So yes, I think I need more clarity, but still I will take the question. So probably the person is asking on what kind of certifications is required or is it required. So I'll take both the question: is certification required, and if yes, what are the kinds of certifications can be done. So see, certification gives you a certification. The answer is both yes and no to it. So if you mostly some organizations check for certifications if you are looking for a change of job or you are looking for a higher position in your own company, then you might need to go for certain certifications, some certain testing level certifications. There are quite a few certifications available in India also which are quite famous. Uh, so you need to decide on what. So again, there are entry level certifications which are only for testers who are who are at the entry level, and there are certifications which are for test managers. There are certifications for test leads. So it again depends on what is your interest and what you aspire to become. Moreover, also how will it help you? If you just go ahead and read the certification material, you will probably realize you know all of it. However, again, yeah, certification adds value only to your resume, but it again depends whether it's a mandatory requirement in your organization or if you're looking for a job change.
Yeah, maybe can I add?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So what I have seen mostly effective is there are various kinds of certifications, and it suits the different personalities in a different way. So you have to see which will be good and all, but definitely certain certificates having them helps. So that's.
Yeah, and Sampath added a few points to his question again. He's asking, is there certification to join 99 tests? So there is no certification required, Sampath, to join 99 tests. As I mentioned earlier, you can even if you are new to testing, you can join 99 tests. We'll take one final question which asks, do we have a mobile app for 99 tests? Uh, right now, we do not have an mobile app for 99 tests, but yes, an app for 99 tests is in our plans, and you might see in the coming future, you might see an app for 99 tests, wherein you will be very easily be able to get notifications if there is a test cycle starting, or if any uh, mostly for test cycle starting, or if you have logged a bug and your validator is validated, you need to take any action. So you might start getting notifications on it. So yes, app for 99 test is in our plans, and you might see it soon. So that's it. That's it, everyone. Thank you, Kaushik, for your time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining the webinar. We will be sharing the webinar PPT and a blog post on it, and we'll be sharing the details with you. And apart from this, if you have any more questions, you can always write to pankaj@99test.com. And if it is difficult to remember, you can shoot out your emails to support@99test.com, and we'll be happy to reply and take all your questions. Thank you so much.